The narrator's 5-year-old daughter, Minnie, was a very talkative girl. She would walk into her father's room and ask him questions. By the time he had answered her questions, another set of questions were thrown over on him. The narrator would often ask her to go and play with Bhula. One day, the little girl was playing in her father's room. She abruptly stopped the game and ran to the window, which overlooked the main road, and began calling out at the top of her voice,
"Kabuliwala! Oh, Kabuliwala!"
A tall, shabbily clothed Afghan street vendor, with a turban on his head, a bag over his shoulder, was passing through the street slowly. As soon as the Kabuliwala heard Minnie's call, he turned around and came towards the door of their house. Minnie was scared of him. She believed that he had 2 or 3 children like her in his bags. The narrator called Minnie and purchased some dry fruits from him. He did not want Minnie to be scared of the Kabuliwala. Very soon, Minnie was not scared of the Kabuliwala. The Kabuliwala came to the door of their house, and Minnie found a good listener. They shared jokes and laughed. Gradually, the narrator learned that Kabuliwala had been visiting Minnie almost daily, and by offering her pistachio nuts, he had already won a large part of the girl's childish heart. The two friends had a few stock phrases and jokes which were repeated in their conversations. The moment she saw Kabuliwala, Minnie would ask with a hearty laugh,
"Kabuliwala! Oh, Kabuliwala! What is there in your bag?"
And he would reply in a nasal tone, "Hathi!" It meant he had an elephant in his bag. Kabuliwala would often tell the girl in his thick accent, "Missy, you should never go to the in-laws." Minnie was too little to understand its connotation. But to keep quiet and not respond to a statement was contrary to Minnie's nature. She would ask him,
"Will you go to your in-laws?"
Kabuliwala would say, I'll thrash my in-laws." And thinking of the unknown creature called father-in-law, Minnie would explode into laughter. Minnie's father, who was an author, loved traveling, and he used to mitigate his desire for traveling a little by talking to Kabuliwala. Kabuliwala told stories of his homeland in his broken Bengali. Minnie's mother was very apprehensive of her association with Kabuliwala and had fears that he might kidnap their daughter one day. Every year in January or February, the Kabuliwala would go back to his home to visit his family. During this period, he was unusually busy collecting dues from his clients. Yet, he found time to visit Minnie. It appeared as if the two were involved in a mischievous plot. The day he couldn't come in the morning, he came in the evening. One morning, as the narrator was sitting in his office, he heard some noise in the streets. He saw Kabuliwala in handcuffs, being led by the policeman. He discovered later that one of the narrator's neighbors had bought a Rampuri shawl from the Kabuliwala, but denied having bought it and refused to pay for it. The Kabuliwala had stabbed him with a knife. The Kabuliwala was hurling abuses, and just then Minnie came and asked him if he was going to his father-in-law's house. The Kabuliwala replied that he was going there and told that he would have thrashed his father-in-law, but his hands were tied. The Kabuliwala was sent to jail for several years. The narrator and Minnie forgot all about him. Minnie easily forgot her old friend and found a new one. As she continued to grow, she was hardly to be seen in her father's studio. Several years later, it was autumn again. Minnie was going to be married. The preparations were being made. The house was being decorated, and the narrator was going through the wedding accounts in his study. Suddenly, the Kabuliwala appeared from nowhere. He walked into the room and greeted the narrator. Initially, the narrator could not recognize him because he had changed during those years in jail. But gradually, narrator realized that it was the same old Kabuliwala, Minnie's friend. He told the narrator that he had been released from the jail the previous evening. The narrator was apprehensive and was not happy with the presence of a murderer in his house on the auspicious occasion. He told the Kabuliwala, "We have a wedding in the house today, and I'm quite busy. It is better for you to go now." The Kabuliwala was unwilling to go and asked the narrator, "Can I see the little girl for a moment?" He still believed that Minnie was as little a girl as she was when he used to visit her. But the narrator told him that it was not possible for him to see her today. He stood hurt and stood stupefied for a long time and walked out of the room. The narrator felt like calling him back, but he turned and said, "I bought these grapes and raisins for the little girl. Hope you don't mind giving it to her." The narrator took the fruits from him and tried to pay for them, but the Kabuliwala refused to accept any payment and said, "You are a generous man, sir, and I'll never forget your kindness. Please don't pay me for these fruits. I too have a daughter back home. It is remembering her face that I bring these gifts for your child. I don't come here for business." Kabuliwala took out an old grimy piece of paper and showed it to the narrator. It had a print of a tiny hand. It was the memory of his daughter that he always carried. The narrator was moved to tears looking at that piece of paper. The narrator realized that behind the murderer was a loving father just like him. This print of paper reminded him about his daughter, Minnie, who was going to part from him. He immediately sent for Minnie. Minnie came, but Kabuliwala was confused. She was not the same girl he knew. She was a grown-up girl, dressed as a bride. Kabuliwala smiled and asked her, "Are you going to the in-laws' house?" By now, Minnie understood what in-laws meant. She blushed and kept quiet. By now, the Kabuliwala was overwhelmed with grief. As he sat down, he realized that his own daughter must have grown up as well. The narrator was moved at the plight of Kabuliwala. He gave some to him and said, "You go back to your daughter in Afghanistan. May the happiness of your union bring blessings for my Minnie." The narrator had cut out a few items of the festivities, but he was happy. The lighting decoration was not as gorgeous as he had planned, and the band party was also cancelled. Yet to him, the auspicious ceremonies looked brighter.